ऑडियो कहाँ से रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है? ऑडियो इसमें कहाँ से जा रहा है?
इसमें नहीं जा रहा, वहीं से जाएगा, जो सराउंडिंग नॉइज है उसी में जाएगा। हाँ हाँ हाँ, आ रहा है। इंटरनेट का ही है सर।
स्पीड तो ठीक है, लेकिन इसमें तो जा रहा है।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है, तो लिंक शेयर कर दो।
कर दो। जब वॉचिंग कम हो जाएगा ना,
हाँ
उस टाइम बताना। तो ये रखना पड़ेगा।
हाँ
देखो स्ट्रीम क्वालिटी ठीक है, हम स्ट्रीम देख रहे थे। अरे यार तीन कैमरा। प्रिंस को कॉल करो, प्रिंस को कॉल करके बुलाया।
तीन कैमरा, एक तो वहाँ लगेगा, एक ही हो सकता है जो।
सर क्या बोले? तीन कैमरा, एक में उनको दिखाना है, एक में उसका ये और पोडियम के लिए।
सर बोल रहे हैं एक इधर दिखाओ, एक इधर दिखाओ, एक एंगल से दिखाओ।
देखो हम फोन यही रख के जा रहे, तुम बैठो जाओ।
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a productive networking session. Now, I would request the delegates sitting on the dais to please come forward and sit on the front row. We'll be starting with the session very soon. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a productive networking session. And now we are all set to dive into the exciting technical rounds ahead. So to begin with the discussion, I would now like to invite Professor Dr. Vishwadeep Bhattacharya sir to share his knowledge on the topic sustainability and carbon emission challenges for infrastructure. As you all know, Dr. Bhattacharya is a professor of the civil engineering at IIT Delhi, specializing in concrete durability, microstructure modeling, and structural health monitoring. He holds a BTech from IIT Kharagpur and an MTech and PhD from IIT Delhi. His minor interests include building physics, construction technology, and management. We'll be truly honored to have the opportunity to listen to you, sir, and learn from your wealth of knowledge and expertise. So, can we have a huge round of applause for him? Hello. Yeah, I think it's fine now. Yeah, yeah. Good, good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
सुनो ना 826 चले जाना ना
So, good afternoon.
वहाँ पे भी होगा वो।
Sure. I'll take
अरे वही
20
देखो
minutes
बोला
as you have
रिसे
permitted me
क्या
for
करें।
his grace. Uh, I'll just take about 20 minutes from now onwards. So what I'll be talking about, if I'm speaking on my left, no. If I'm speaking on my right, hello. No. Anyway, it's okay, no problem. I think whenever it works, works. But otherwise, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, because professionally teachers should be able to talk to people as much as possible. Fine. So this is what I should be talking about. Now, you must understand that we have only 1 hour, right? And we have population just on May 1st, July 1st, 2024 is given here. And this should be sustained. Balancing with now we have only one star to give us energy. That is the sun. So the issue is here. Now, our consumption is estimated through what is called ecological footprint. Eco footprint. Consumption means everything. All the resources you consume, that's called ecological footprint. I go fast, so therefore I will not go too much detail on it unless there are some questions. Sometimes you can talk about in time. Then biocapacity is the capacity of the earth to provide the resources for consumption. Finally, it is the
उसको
earth.
मत छेड़ो, उसको टाइट टाइट करो। यहाँ देखो ये तुम्हारा ऊपर नीचे हो जाएगा।
Thing I can produce for human being. That's what the biocapacity relates to. So your area is fixed. Land area, water area, everything is fixed. And only way energy you get is from
सामने से
photosynthesis.
करना पड़ेगा।
So that's all fixed.
उस पे फोकस
So
करेगा नहीं।
ecological footprint is bioproductive area needed for our consumption.
अभी हुआ
At
था
any
ना
point
ऊपर।
of time, because it has been changing over the years.
अच्छा हाँ।
Number of earth therefore you need depends upon the ratio of ecological footprint to
एक
bioproductive.
मिनट इसको ना इधर घुमाओ।
Right? How much you are consuming divided by how much the capacity
ढीला
of the
करो
earth is.
इसको ये
And it changes a little bit annually. How?
क्या करो और घुमाओ।
Because
इसको
you know, some of you, I just when I was talking earlier, I was telling about green revolution in India. The food production was much less. When scientific agriculture was brought in, food production increased. So annually it can increase. In fact, it was thought in 1930s that population is increasing such a way it will be time of food. Button Russell, Malthus used to say similar thing. But however, people sustained because food production increased, yield of the yield increased, yield per unit area has increased. One major problem is with the ecological footprint is you will also generate waste. You consume resources, simultaneously you generate waste. So ecological footprint of waste is also important, which is estimated waste generated and absorptive capacity per hectare of the area, because these are in area units. So biocapacity,
कहाँ है
I
इसका
will
ये?
go into the algebra part of it. I'll just
ये किससे दिख रहा है?
area,
ये
yield
रिपीट हो रहा है
factor,
हमको लग रहा है।
interior factor, and equivalent factor. So the desert area
हाँ
will
भाई
produce less,
नीचे।
industry produces somewhat differently. So all this can be equated. There's a way to do that. World Resources Institute does that. And all are expressed in terms of what is called global hectare
लंबा छोड़ो।
area.
ये ठीक।
And
ये ना उसको रहने दो
for a
रिमोट से
country you
कंट्रोल
can do
करना।
that, for the world you can do it. And since the yield varies from year to year, IOIF takes care of that. So equivalent going through it. Now, this process that is done, you take resources from the mother earth, manipulate it to produce something, use it, and then generate waste. But at the production time of the generate waste. So these wastes are the problem. Now, what are these wastes? Main waste is the carbon dioxide. Anthropogenic waste. Other wastes are there, but one of the major is the carbon dioxide. You produce fossil, you burn fossil fuels for energy, for producing anything. You generate carbon dioxide waste. That is one side of it, but another major contributor is the cement. Calcination of limestone. SCC cement factory is there, and you see several titles they are given, including high performance concrete. I believe that has to R and so both times. So that's it. Main is the carbon. Main waste is the carbon. Solar constant is the amount of radiation received at the top of the earth. Not everything comes to the ground. 50% comes to the ground, 50% is rejected straight away. And annually whatever comes in has been going out. That's how the balance is maintained. That's why the temperature of the earth remains same. Right? But some gases, like carbon dioxide, H2O, methane, etc., etc., they behave almost like glass. Glass can trap sun's energy because it allows solar radiation to come in, but doesn't allow long wave radiation to go in. For example, my body or everybody's body is also radiating because it's at some temperature, but terrestrial bodies radiate at terrestrial temperature. These are all called long wave radiation, doesn't have much of an energy. So glass stops it, and when carbon dioxide or water, water vapor or methane gas concentration is very high in the top of the atmosphere, this radiation cannot go in. So cannot get out. So what happens is daytime it absorbs radiation, night it gives away. And this has been happening, and annual budget has been zero. Net budget has been zero for many, many years, millions of years. But now with the industrialization, this has started, the budget has become light such that actually you are trapping energy, and that's why global warming and so on. So hence there is a disbalance, and global warming, forest land and carbon dioxide. Only forest land can absorb carbon dioxide. If you see the photosynthesis, I don't think go on to that. Carbon dioxide is the top, and forest land can absorb. Now, if you see that with time, world ecological footprint, carbon dioxide is a top blue one, which is very high, higher than anything else, built up land, forest, etc., etc. Biocapacity up to fishing ground. But carbon dioxide is not part of the biocapacity. That's a waste. And that waste has gone much higher than 1 Earth requirement. Left hand side is the Earth requirement. And you can calculate this out. In fact, in my class was 2022 when I was taking the last class with my students in sustainability course, which is there in actually there's a course on sustainability by me and green buildings in NPTEL videos. If you are interested, you can see this. That time I calculated, data are available, and it showed me that it should be 1.7475 hours at that point of time. And if you are doing the business as usual, you will consume it in 2.5 hours in 2050. So they are for all this GOP. They are still fighting about the full finance for the carbon bill. So biocapacity includes everything except for the carbon part of it. That's waste. Therefore, carbon you have to control. So consuming more than Earth's living, capacity, more than Earth's capacity, leaving nothing for food. That's not sustainable. You must consume within the limits of the capacity of the Earth. So this is the issue actually. That's what I'm just trying to highlight. So carbon, ecological footprint, and net zero scenario. If you can bring it to net zero carbon, then scenario would be right, or possibly something you have to absorb the carbon as well. So this has been globally recognized, and all emission of human activities are to be counterbalanced by removing carbon from atmosphere through carbon removal system, Generally, it is the plants and trees which does, but you can have additional because of the quick reaction. Now, if you see net zero strategy that has been put in by, I think, civil engineers comes in retrofitting decarbonized buildings. I mean these buildings, air conditioned buildings, which consumes a lot of energy. Then decarbonize, material, very bright. Are you able to see this decarbonize? Because the color is green, so like cement and steel and so on, particularly cement. And all that's the main thing that can tell you something. And this is the kind of thing roadmap how you want to bring it to down. If you want to use only 1 hour. I'm not very sure that we get a space in March or June. So, construction activity is the major concern. We have new construction and existing construction. That's what we are discussing this morning about the campus. Existing construction, preventative maintenance, and you have to first retrofit the buildings, particularly energy consuming buildings, air conditioned building in India, of course. Many of the urban areas, it is all air conditioned, otherwise perhaps it is much less. And existing infrastructure, rehabilitate, retrofit, that comes always. Civil engineering structures cannot be maintained. You have come to the world, you know. So that's the same thing. If you produce something with the expense of energy, thermodynamically, you have given a chemical potential to it. It will have to dissipate. Natural materials, no problem. Fe3O4, the hematite or magnetite around this part of the world, they are not stable. Right? Limestone, which is being used by SSC bacteria, is stable. But you calcine it to 600 degrees centigrade, 700 degrees centigrade, which is done in cement production. Then the carbon dioxide you leave to the atmosphere. Calcium oxide is not stable. It will react with water, get slag and lime, and in the long run absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to go back to the molecules. So that's what is civil engineering materials are not stable. So you need rehabilitation. आवाज माइक कभी कभी काम करता है, कभी कभी काम नहीं करता है, इसलिए मैं थोड़ा चिल्ला रहा हूँ. हो सकता है सुनाई दे रहा है पीछे. Can you hear me? Yes, sir. Okay, so right. So retrofit, repair, rehabilitation is a must. Right. Therefore, we must look at life cycle carbon for infrastructure as well.
यूट्यूब पे लाइव हो रहा है तो एक कैमरा को एक ही बार यूज़ कर सकता है. अगर गूगल मीट चलाएंगे तो यूट्यूब बंद करना पड़ेगा. एक कैमरा है सर, एक कैमरा को दो ऐप में यूज़ नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. लैपटॉप से चलाओ कैमरा इसका लिंक भेजना हमको तो इसमें आगे पीछे दोनों दिखाओगे. पीछे दोनों दिखाओ ना, केवल तुम उधर दिखा सकते हो.
यूट्यूब पे लाइव हो रहा है तो इसलिए नहीं आ रहा.
Cement, steel will corrode. Tendency cannot be stopped. You can stop the rate. Oxidation tendency cannot be controlled. But you can create such oxides like stainless steel Cr2O7, colorless, and you think that nothing has come, and it is so thick layer, passive layer we call it, that it doesn't corrode for a very long time unless it's exposed to very severe kind of environmental damage. So this is the kind of cycle typically you get. We have something called serviceability limit. The crack you see in the building, corrosion crack, let us say it has reached its serviceability limit. There are other ones also. I'm not talking about those. So, but if you do a good repair, it can go straight away to the end of your intended design life. Intended design life is the intention during the design the building, importance of the building, etc., etc. So that's intended design life. Service life of for elements, usually when it shows up process serviceability, typical ideal case should be that all service life of all elements should be as good as the intended design life. So maintenance free intended. Okay, but when you do repair and rejuvenation, you are again consuming the same material. If it is concrete, then cement
नहीं
will
सर,
be so.
एक दो तीन चार
So
पाँच
like
तो है।
carbon
तो है ना?
dioxide, etc.
एक तो यही लैपटॉप है, एक डी
I'm
तीन
talking of
तीन
concrete because that's a little good question for me.
बोल दो
You see, concrete as a material, it is actually a four-dimensional material.
यूट्यूब लिंक डाल देता
You
हूँ।
have aggregate
यूट्यूब लिंक में
system,
डाल दो कि दिस इज
fiber.
स्ट्रीमिंग लाइव
Fiber
so you
is a
can
part of the concrete. I'm
move
not
there
talking the reinforcement
and
of
you
the
can
conventional kind.
drop your doubts in the
Binders.
comment box also.
There can be n number of binders today.
वो वाला तुम देखो ना लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग में कमेंट वगैरह का तो
Cement,
यस
ordinary portrait cement is no longer used by and large to things like geopolymer and so on and so forth. And performance also it is four-dimensional.
बंद मत करो अभी
And
मेरा
you know,
प्रेजेंटेशन है
as a concrete
मतलब
as a
तुम
material, you look at
जुड़े रहे
stress
प्रेजेंटेशन
state
में करा
performance.
दीजिएगा
ठीक है सर।
कैंसिल कर देना जिसका प्रेजेंटेशन है
Hardening
and
state
you can
performance, hardened
be
state performance, that is
attentive here
long-term performance also,
and you will be called
and
when
now it's
the slot
sustainability
will come.
performance. So it's also a four-dimensional. So you can design the system as a concrete composite depending upon what you want. You can make it sustainable as much as possible, but then not infinitely. Concrete composites can be designed for appropriate service life, appropriate sustainability. Challenging. Mathematically, the problem is challenging because our understanding of such materials is not so good. Not as good as steel. Or forget about electronic chips, which is well understood in physics based. Stage way. So concrete, you know, but I'm sure that things like some of these things like artificial intelligence and surrogate model, etc. may help in future, right? So although you may not solve the physical problem, I think I'm finishing my time. So cement is one of the main things, and you can, if you see British or Euro code, yen code, you'll find that 27 cements are listed there. 27 types. There are many others along with that. Types of cement which you can use. Binders. One of them is C, which is written in Indian scenario.
इसमें स्ट्रीम नीचे ज्वाइन
Your polymer is the other one, and so on.
इसमें
So many possibilities are there. Research are going on in many one of them. So you have research, you want to do sustainability research in materials, this is the scope. And you can calculate out how much is the carbon dioxide comes out from clinker, effect to the our cement and building, and then alternative fuel. Earlier they were using petcoke, right, or furnace oil for cement production. Now they can use all those alternative fuels they are using. Only thing, they should not be toxic. Everything they can use. And current consumption of carbon dioxide produced from 1 ton of cement is 0.72 tons. In Indian scenario, as per National Council for Cement. And they want to go into 0.5. And you can reduce it still further if more research comes in geopolymer concrete. Can be a similar sort of thing where much less is used. The other quickly, I take 2-3 minutes. I can take 2-3 minutes. The energy use is something we call embodied energy. You see, right from production or mining to production to transportation, that we call embodied energy. All the energy that goes in is called embodied energy. We don't have much data in this country, except for Professor Reddy's work of Bangalore. We don't have much work on this. It's a laborious work. You have to go to the site, find out how much energy is consumed by Indian machines and things like that. So nobody wants to do that. May not be very easy to publish a paper also. So, but that is the challenge. We don't have that. But if you go to England, for example, it is the university. There's that same way, embodied energy of various materials. But it will vary from country to country. Other thing is, so this is what is given. It's available, it's here 2 tons per capita per year concrete to use. So if the quantity of concrete that you use is too large, therefore carbon dioxide you are generating, energy, potential energy, etc. is too large. See, compared to that, you can see that 2 tons per capita, still it is, this was a statement in Parliament, 87 kg per person per year in 2 years back. So this is what it is. So actually you can, there's an algebraic equation that I have proposed sometimes in one of the conferences, IMT, which conferences and all, is basically area you are using for construction, that you are consuming anyway. But the waste you generate, that's additional area you need to plant carbon, plant. Because carbon if you are generating, you must absorb it. So that would be the net, or net, you can say the number of art contribution from a structure will be 1 plus structure carbon, the carbon you're producing, you're producing the structure divided by biocapacity of the structure itself, which is the area. So this is what it is. In algebra, I am just avoiding because I don't think I have time. But in another kind of, you can find out how much art you require, what is the ecological footprint of a structure, life cycle ecological footprint of a structure. That's the model. This is there in some papers, earlier papers, and you can actually calculate out like carbon emission, and this is the formula, and that's it. So that it is. I don't want to do this. Now, in construction challenges, we must sensitize this. Recycled material, like I said a couple of few hours before. Mechanized and controlled production. Mechanized production is mass. You can go to clay, but if you are using human energy, is fine, provided you have got enough labor, which should not be, in my opinion, because you should also look into human development index. People's lives should increase, for whom we are developing. So that's what it is. Good quality control, mechanized production, minimize the use. If you are using even local material, see that, because that will not be also infinite. And it should be appropriate to the locality where you are living. So I personally feel
माइक हो जाता था यहाँ पे लगा के
ये माइक हो जाएगा।
हाँ, और वहाँ से ले लेंगे ना तो आवाज़ आ जाएगा।
माइक है, ये कॉलर वाला माइक है इसके लिए, लेकिन यहाँ के लिए नहीं है।
सर यूट्यूब के लिए हो जाएगा ना, यूट्यूब में आवाज़ आ जाएगा।
तो मीट बंद किया था स्ट्रीम करने से बाद।
हाँ
so they are net zero building. Energy, we can design them. Net zero building. That is, you have air conditioner, all right. Passive design. First, the building envelope should be designed. And then you can design for net zero building, do value engineering right in the planning and design stage. These are the kind of constraints which will have ground coverage, height, etc. I'm not talking of base plan process of optimization. And these are the kind of variables we will have. Orientation, form, each kind of wall type, etc. So we did this, one of my students did, and actually I think I'll not go into it. There are modern optimization tools the computer scientists have given us, like genetic algorithm, and there are several ones which have come with it. So you can use those and do it. And in addition to this, like solar shading, increased temperature, put green things. But there are challenges. If you put green things, then moisture ingress, corrosion to other, all these issues are there. You're heating them quickly. Carbon dioxide removal. There are several techniques which have come. We said actually, and there are several of them. Many of the easiest one is of course forestation, and you can chemically also you can do it. That's what is being showed here. Not yet a fully proven technology. Carbon dioxide absorber you take, for example, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere that comes in, and then what do? You allow it to react with calcium hydroxide. Calcium carbonate is formed. You heat it up. Take the
further because I think I have already exhausted my time. It is available in this, and with this I think I like to stop. The direct carbon absorption techniques, they are direct air capture, global operating capacity. Thank you very much. I think
स्टॉप वॉच नहीं चल
If the audience have any question, they can ask from sir.
अभी इसके बाद उसको देखो
underground. There are several kinds of things
उसको
are
क्या
being thought
लेना
about.
है
So this technology level,
कॉपी कर
TRL level, this technology that is
तुमको
not here.
ऐसे ही उनका मन कर रहा है
I give him a mic because my friends might be having the same question.
I think fly ash is using as a building, but how it is means durability and long-term effect. Fly ash brick.
No, you see the one issue is that sometimes some people are apprehensive of the fly ash brick. They look into whether they have got
देखो माइक ला
materials which can radiate,
लगा देंगे इसमें
radiation.
लाइव
But you know, in
रिकॉर्डिंग
India,
होगी अच्छे से
the coal that we use, etc., the atomic regulatory board, etc., they have tested. But also for tested, there's no radiation problem from Indian fly ashes, at least. Even worldwide, you can check. Otherwise, also it's not a problem because you are using as a infill material. For one or two-story building, but as the infill material, so therefore there's no problem. You can handle it. It's not a problem. You can design the masonry system or generally give a plaster depending upon what you are talking about. So not a problem.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? First of all, it's an honor to be here today, sir. So my question is, what are your views on incorporating moss in the concrete so that we can reduce the carbon emission from the infrastructure?
You mean to say you put it something green into the concrete itself, which will absorb sun's radiation by photo or carbon dioxide?
Yes, sir.
No, but it has to be at the surface. But then other problems are there because it will, it will keep it moist. Like with the reinforced concrete, right? Reinforced concrete, then if it is fully covered, not a problem. But carbon dioxide entering into the carbon would cause carbonation. And then you will challenge. Because this PhD was on carbonation, reinforcement corrosion due to carbonation. Because it can still get repactivated. But you can use different kinds of things. System can be designed, but you have to prove it. It's not an easy thing to do. You have to prove it.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening insights on sustainability and carbon emissions challenges. We are truly inspired by your vision and commitment to shaping a sustainable future. Now, I'd like to call upon Dr. Jeetu Kujur, sir, HOD Civil Engineering Department, BICC Risce, to give us a vote of thanks and praise our presence.
Thank you very much, Professor B. Bhattacharya sir, for giving detail about the sustainability issue within a limited period. He gives a detailed information on carbon emission, how to reduce zero carbon emission. So, thank you very much, sir, for giving your detailed information regarding sustainability. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Proceeding further, I would like to call upon stage Professor Dr. Piyush Shamui, sir, to present memento to Professor Dr. B. Bhattacharya ji, sir. purpose. I request the audience to give a huge round of applause. Moving further, I'd like to call upon stage Dr. Sanjay Kumar sir to present memento to Professor Dr. Sharat. Now, we'd like to invite Professor Dr. Sharat Kumar Das from IIT Dhanbad to share his insights on an integrated sustainability approach towards utilizing industrial and mining waste. Professor Das holds a PhD from IIT Kanpur and has made significant contributions to geotechnical engineering and sustainability. So, please.
Let us welcome him with a huge round of applause. Let's get this session started with a huge round of applause. Everyone.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. So, Professor Bhattacharya has said our life easy by already discussing what is this sustainability. So, I started with here. My experience on this waste produced well back in 90. So, my professor said that we have got something called fly ash, and you have to read as a discuss it as a soil. So then Professor Sanjay Shukla was also there. We started working on that. So that was our first experience on using something called waste. So my professor Judbir, that time he was professor at IIT Kanpur. So now coming to the sustainability, like Professor Bhattacharya was saying, so now in 2015, they have decided that we have to do something to achieve this sustainability. So we have got three. Somebody people say that people, profit, people and planet. And some people say because in this world nothing works without business model. All that is called profit. Initially we are thinking that how the people will survive, but that is also without profit does not have any value. And economy, society, biosphere. So these way people have discussed this as sustainability. As per the UNO, there are 17 goals. With the colors I have said which refers to the society, which refers to the economy, and which refers to the environment. And interestingly, they are all conflicting. If you look at the people, your planet will suffer. If you look at the planet, your people have to suffer, or other way you will not get the profit. So keeping that in mind, always we are working in a multi-decision criteria system as an engineer. So now Professor Bhattacharya was also talking about this. Is it working? ये वाला, this is better. एक ऑन करके दो जो काम कर रहा है. हेलो हेलो हेलो, is it working? Okay, so now because I belongs to geotechnical engineering, so I started with geomaterial. So when I'm talking about like material demand, this is the requirement 2011, and now if you see the maximum people use after water is aggregate, and it is projected to 2060 also. If you see, still that is aggregate. That means that is the demand as per the world, that is OECD, actually European community. So they have said that we need lots of aggregate and aggregate, nothing like coal, all these things comparatively is much less. Then another one, I said that waste, as I said you, I don't consider anything as a waste. It is related to your knowledge level. Because if you have got a full knowledge about your ore, so that's why we are saying it as ore, minerals or products. Some product we have got like slag, that is a byproduct, because cement industry are taking it, we have got the knowledge. That which we are not having any knowledge, we are calling it as a waste. So truly speaking, there is no waste. Only we have got a lack of knowledge. That's why only we are saying it is a waste. Suppose that tomorrow somebody gives you for after banana leaf 50 paisa, so you will keep that banana in your pocket till you get the market. So now coming to another important point what Professor Bhattacharya was talking about, our mother earth, we have to look after it. So the thing is that we are requiring the resource. So we are bothering the earth, excavating it out. But then what is our, like you are hiring this room, when you will give it back, it should make it clean and give it back. So that is what we should do when we are getting something from the mother earth. So after taking our product, we should return to the mother earth with all treatments so that it does not hamper to the ecology. So that should be our knowledge level, and this is now what we call it as a circular economy. So if anything is there that if you can achieve, that will be the best. It will, waste will not be there, it will be an opportunity. Now coming to geotechnical engineering, then I'll quote because I am getting wiser with Professor Bhattacharya's talk. So today morning he said, one is engineering, other is technology. So our geotechnical engineering, more of engineering than any technology, because we have not correlated with the physics and chemistry. What is the problem? Because the geotechnical engineering is really complex material, and so far also we are doing for concrete, other steel, because that is a solid. But our geotech is a particulate system. Aerosol and geotechnical particulate system, physics people say both same, because one is air more, so aerosol. Here the soil is more, we are saying particulate system is geotechnical. So it has got very complex properties, which we are not able to develop the science to tell all these youngsters now to come. Just when you are coming with physics, chemistry in 12th, and I am teaching something geotechnical which goes no connection. So people think that it has no correlation with this engineering. So that way, because it is too complex, that's why we are not able to do it. So now it has got different particles. Each particle has got properties. Single particle has chemical composition, geometry, and so on and so on. Volumetric and gravimetric. One people say moisture content, water resources, volumetric. Geotechnical say gravimetric. Word by word, there is volume by volume. So there are so many things is there in, so for which we are not able to go it. Now soil, so far what Terjagi or so far we are dealing it with, they are saying is a stable material. But these industrial waste are not stable material. They have got, you see, the variation, all red marks has got different properties compared to a Mother Earth, for which our geotechnical book exists. How to directly apply that to this industrial waste? It is not able stable. So if I look at this is the chemical composition, go for it. So each chemical composition, something is biased towards aluminum silicate, which is mostly the Mother Earth, but something is close towards iron, something close towards calcium, and so on. So then people have another one called minerals. People have got many concept about the chemistry and minerals. They are all different. Because if you go with the definition, minerals have got a definite crystal structure, chemical formula may be said. So that is also for young researcher, I'll say you have to do it very correctly. Now what is sharing, because in one case we say ferrochrome slag or these are, they have got say size as of sand. Can you use it as a sand? No, look at this. Indian standard sand only quartz, quartz and quartz. But in other material the size may be same, but it has got different types of mineralogy and chemicals. So you cannot use it. It will create problem for the concrete. And so this is what I have done for the fly ash also. Now, one I said chemistry is different, mineralogy, chemistry related different. Then comes the morphology. Just soil, because soil we are saying we have got a clay soil. So how it is generated? It is made out of, suppose say, thermogenesis or maybe mechanogenesis, because our boulders became clay, breaking, breaking and breaking. So that graph people say, so mostly the sand size comes here. But if you go for thermogenesis, that lava comes out and then also makes a soil. So that is thermo. Now fly ash is a thermo, similar, because also coming at temperature, that is naturally, that is artificially. Similarly, biogenesis. On deep sea, this flora fauna is also creating an earth, soil. So that also now we are saying microbial induced calcite precipitation, and people are doing research. And so also chemical genesis, how this clay form and these chemical processes is going for that. So you have to correlate with what this industrial waste and how the genesis are shaped. And look at this shape, the clay particles are plate-like, but here it is spherical. Internal structure is different. So all these cannot directly match to that what we have read in conventional geotechnical engineering. And this is what you see. Here is a standard sand. Here it is a sand material from the bauxite residue red mud. So if you will see, there is not much difference if you find out in the individual particle, but the problem lies with the chemistry. And if you look at the ferrochrome slag, so you see the size, a lot like structure to a almost a spherical structure. So the structure are different. I mean particles are different. So here workability, when I'm talking about TC, different material requires different moisture content, and concrete different moisture. If the moisture content changes, the strength changes. But for workability, we need some water to add to the soil wherever you use it, whether in concrete or in even as a soil also. And then also you see other is innocuous or deleterious material. Industrial waste sometimes contains this deleterious material which is going to hamper your concrete. Okay, so these I will not go for. So another important point when we talk about geotechnical engineering we call nowadays control low strength material. Concrete starts with M15 or nowadays M20. But soil, if you get 2 MPa also, that is 2000 kilonewton per meter square bearing capacity is very high. So that can be also made out of this industrial waste, which is a very good perspective and many places are being now used. So that we can use it for all these industrial but the thing is that here you have to consider geotech and cement or concrete together to get the bleeding flowability from concrete and the other properties from the geotech. Similarly, you see, these generally concrete people used to do it, but here for this type of material we have to do so that UPV means ultrasound pulse velocity to get the whether it is really packed or not packed. And here we are not compacting, it is self-compacting geomaterial. They call self-compacting concrete. So here also you don't compact it. Think about geotechnical material but without compaction. Then another morning I was talking about this number. So what this number, when I am talking about a sustainability, there are three levels. One is called indicator, criteria, requirement. Requirement is environmental concerns should be considered, economic part should be considered, and social aspect to be considered. Suppose when I'm talking about environment, what is the environmental criteria? Air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, or human health. But now come to air pollution. Air pollution what? Carbon dioxide, ozone layer depletion, or so what? So these even we are struggling here to find out what are the indicators we require to say that it is satisfying the criteria to come to requirement, then tell about sustainability. So that any country develop it for you, it will not fit. And this is a mathematical what we do. And suppose say I will come to a, so here a small example. Some now people are saying that fly ash from the pond you take it make embankment. I say why not you directly send it from the plant? If you will go from the pond, you have to do so many extra things. So that is also creating problem for the sustainability. In long term, it is not sustainable because you are machinery for excavation, transporting, and so on. So this is another one. This is our coal capital is Dhanbad, coal capital of India. So now overburden also trying to make a sand. So one of the student tried to make it. And what is there in, because as I said, engineering we do some little bit of mathematics and get it to say that integrated means you have to take economy, environment, and society. So if you consider all these things, again there what is weightage? Weightage, suppose he has taken it 3 equal weightage, or which should be it? So that will give it by the policy planner. This local policy planner will say that what is more important, people will accept it or not accept it. That should be given the criteria, or environmental should be get a criteria because we are covering most part of this for the dump, coal mine overburden dump. Another thing, like now Professor was talking about TRL, technology readiness level. Many times we are not aware about this. We do some research. You see the academic research come up to TRL 3 to 4. Suddenly there is a valley. This is called as valley of death. So then what we should go for? We should go for collaboration. We should collaborate with whom? Industry or the stakeholders. So if he gives a hand to you, then it continues and becomes a business model. So unless we do research up to that point, our product will not sell. So that is all the time what I say is a business model. If it is not there, most of our research are suffering because we are not able to make it a business model. Another one is standards. As I said you when we started, that time this I was doing in 91, 92 some of my thesis. So that time ply was not being used any construction for embankment and so on, only concrete 5 to 10%. What was the problem? If you do embankment, it will fly because strength was reducing suddenly once you keep it outside. Whatever the strength it was due to apparent cohesion. That means as long as it is wet, it has a strength like a sand. Once the sand, water dries up, it has no strength, it will fly. So then what they came, IRC, RDS, all came with the proposal, will cover it. So then only it was started using for the embankment. Without a standard, we cannot use any material. So a business model, then they will go to the making a standard. So this is what is called code of practice or standard. Then only your research is complete. So when this our BIS is there, you see, now I am talking about because we need to know about the standard and whatever we are doing, if you can contribute to the standard, then only our effort will be fruitful. So what it says, they are by nature document voluntary, but once it back becomes the part of contract, then it's mandatory. We are only aware about IS 456, but so many codes are there. So unless we know about it, unless we adhere to it, nobody will follow. So there are different qualities for this one. So now sustainability also they have got different standards. but we don't have any Indian standard. We are following so far ISO standards. So once it becomes ISO standards, now any company suppose gives you that find out the sustainable aspects of my company. So you have to follow these standards. One is for the energy, one is for the environment, and one is for the quality management. All this you have to follow. But the problem is, if you don't make your Indian standard, you are going to suffer. We are saying these particular country Chinese products suppose are not good, but why are not able to stop it? Because we don't have a standard to say that this is not satisfying our criteria. So that way we have to make our own standard to make that this is a standard. Unless somebody satisfies this criteria, cannot be used. Then only we'll say it is possible. Okay, so coming to conclusion, what Professor Bhattacharya said, reduce, recycle and reuse. So this should be a practice, and appropriate characterization, knowledge. Once it becomes a knowledge, never will become a waste. It will be wealth. So this is what I say. Finally, you have to make policy implementation. Any material now we are doing, I am part of suppose the Indian Road Congress or so. So we have to give it to that. Say you just check our product is valid. They will validate at the site. Once become Indian Road Congress standard, people have to use it. They will have a confidence to use it. So that's why I say for the policy implementation you need this one. Okay, thank you. Thank you all. These are my slides. If you have got any questions, I'll be happy. Otherwise, my friend is waiting. Sorry. Okay, thank you. If you have got something also during lunch, we can discuss.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind attention. Sir has shed some light on the potential of industrial and mining waste as valuable resources. It's imperative that we adopt an integrated sustainability approach to minimize environmental impact and maximize economic benefits to build a sustainable system. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I'd like to request our esteemed Head of Civil Engineering Department to deliver a vote of thanks to our distinguished keynote speaker, Professor Dr.
आप उधर बोल के उनको बुला लीजिए.
Thank you very much. We are very thankful to Dr. Risce, Professor IIT Risce, for giving expertise in geotechnical engineering related to the sustainability. So I think it will be very useful for our audience. Thank you very much, sir, for your presentation. Thank you very much.
Moving further, I would like to invite Dr. Sanjay Kumar Shukla sir to present token of our appreciation to our esteemed keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Sharat Kumar Das.
सामने रखेंगे. Thank you. रख देते हैं. नीचे रख दीजिए. अभी तो आपका प्रेजेंटेशन है ना. थोड़ा लेट हो रहा है इसमें.
Moving further, I would like to introduce to you all Dr. Shukla sir, a man who needs no introduction, but still, Dr. Shukla is the founding editor-in-chief of the International Journal of Geosynthetics and Ground Engineering. He serves as the founding research group leader at Edinburgh University, Australia. Among his accolades, he holds the distinguished professorship at 10 different universities. He has authored 27 books and published over 320 technical articles. That's a humongous number. Please give a huge round of applause for him. Also, I would like to tell you that he's ranked among world's top 2% of scientists would be my utmost privilege to hear you speak so and to learn from your vast knowledge and experience. So please come up on.